Hello everyone, I am Haramrit Kaur, hailing from Jalandhar, Punjab. I completed my BCom LLB from Punjab University, Chandigarh in the year 2021. Since then, I've been preparing for Judicial Services. This was my first attempt in Punjab Judicial Services, in which I have secured third rank. Now, as we know, there are three stages in this exam, that is preliminary, mains and interview. I will focus on all these three stages separately. Let us talk about how do we prepare for the preliminary exam. If we specifically talk about the states like Punjab and Haryana, you will see that mostly the questions are from Bare Act. You will have to face simple questions that are solely based on the Bare Act. So I would say give huge impetus to the preparations when it comes to your huge impetus to the Bare Act when you're preparing for your preliminary stage. And for that, you should read each and every provision, each and every part of the section, the headings, the title of the chapter numbers, the parts very religiously, so that if there is any question coming out of it, you are able to answer that. One thing that I did adopt in my preparation was that when I was giving my preliminary examination, by that time I had already read the Bare Act 5 to 6 times. Now, with this, what happened was that I was able to memorize and recollect each and every provision of the Bare Act. So, when the paper came, I knew that I had read all these provisions. It did not take me even more than 30 seconds to attempt one question. The second thing that you must focus upon is your speed. You must practice as many MCQs as possible so that you can have a very good speed when attempting the paper in the examination hall. For that, if I talk about my speed, by the end of my preparation, I had made it a goal to solve 125 questions in 1 hour, because this made me that if I know, suppose say 90 questions are which I am very confident about, I would be able to do them in 1 hour. I will be left with another hour in which I will give importance to the questions that I am confused about. In this manner, the questions that you do not know, you will still have sufficient time to think about them. So make sure you are able to do at least 100 questions in 1 hour, and practice. The only key to this would be practicing. You can refer to several books are available in the market. The books that I have referred were Universal. There was a book of Singhal, and there are also previous year questions for Punjab and Himachal Pradesh in one particular book. You can go through all of them. I would suggest you to devote at least 1 hour in your day only to the MCQs for the complete 2 month preparation that you will have for your preliminary exam. And if possible, do also give test series so that you are able to examine or you're able to verify where do you stand. When you will give those test series, you will analyze yourselves so that you can work upon your weaknesses rather than working again on your strengths. If we come to the main stage, then I think the most biggest challenge that you are going to face is your speed. I was preparing for my mains. I had written mains twice, once for Haryana as well. And one thing that I had worked very, very, very hard was my speed. There are only 2 hours, and you have to attempt approximately 20 questions. For each question, you only have 8 minutes. In that 8 minutes, you have to read the question, you have to understand the question, and you have to give an appropriate answer to it. You do not have sufficient time to think about it. You do not have the sufficient time to frame. So it is better that in the period that you've been given, you practice as much as possible for writing. Even for students who have not taken any coaching, I would really suggest that you must go for test series, because when you sit down in a test series, you will actually feel the pressure that you are going to feel in the examination hall. Those practices for 3 hours, like for continuously for 5 days or otherwise, will allow you to make a good habit of writing and completing your examination in 3 hours. There's another suggestion that I would put forward, because in mains you have to write 2 papers in one day. So please also, at least before sitting in the mains, practice to write 2 papers in one day, even if not at the test series, because the test series might be conducted at the alternative days. You can do it for yourself. Write one mains paper in the morning and then write another mains paper in the evening, because this way you will make your hand habitual to writing for 6 hours continuously. And trust me, it is only your writing that is going to come to help in the examination hall. The second thing that I would want you to focus for mains is go through your notes very well. If you're referring to any books, if you're referring to your notes, then you must read them religiously so that you need each and every provision. Do not restrict yourself only to the notes and books. Please go through the recent judgments. Like in the Punjab examination, in criminal paper, we had a question that referred to the latest judgment of Sukhpal Singh Khehra. It was a 10-mark question. So all the students who must have not referred or adapted themselves to the recent developments, they would have lost the 10 marks there and then. And this 10 marks is going to cost you a lot. So make sure that even while preparing your mains, you do not give up on newspaper, you do not give up on legal articles. I had taken the paid subscription for live law, which I think came with a huge help to me. A strategy that I followed was that I used to read the articles which were relevant to my subject like civil law, criminal law. I used to take their clip outs, I used to take their screenshots, I used to mark them, highlight the portion that was relevant to me. And when I was revising such topics, like for example, if I am doing criminal law and I have this whole bundle of editorials that have been with me, highlighted with me, I will give a separate 3 hour slot to this editorials. I will go through them. I will try to memorize the judgments which have been laid down, the important observations, and then quote them in my examines. Because if you're quoting recent developments in your answers, that is going to give you an edge over all the other students. So practice as much as possible. Keep yourself adapted to the recent developments and do not give up on your notes and your barracks. This is the best strategy that you can follow for mains. A misnomer among all the students is that languages can be dealt with at the end. This is a mistake, I must tell you, that you should not make. If I look at my result, if I've been able to grab third position, it is only because of the score that I had secured in my languages. I got 125 in English and I got 96 in Punjabi, that was out of 150, which I think has made the only difference in my exam, giving me third rank. Now, there is one thing that I was very clear in my head, even while I was preparing for my preliminary examination and after my preliminary examination, before the date came for mains examination, I was devoting 1 hour each for English as well as Punjabi. So there were 2 hours that I was giving to languages. Now what you can do is, and what has worked out for me was that one day I used to study the grammar portion, the other day I used to study the essays. So I kept it alternatively. When the date for mains was announced, then I kept 3 hours. Like 3 hours, like in a single day, you can have 3 hours, which you can give alternatively to English as well as Punjabi. In this 3 hours, give at least 2 hours to essay and give 1 hour to the grammar, vocabulary, etc. If I talk particularly about English, then one thing that you should do is you should read editorials, because this way you will come across the important recent developments which are being happening, because your essay is only going to come from something that is happening in our own environment. So when you read those newspapers, you will get accustomed to these topics. Have the cutouts and prepare your essay on your own. I would not refer any book for essays because I honestly did not refer to any book. I prepared my own essays. There were around 12 essays that I had written. Go for essays such as transgender, women, economy, development. If you prepare these essays, trust me, if there is any essay which will come up that you've not even prepared, you will be able to write a very beautiful essay. For me, even in Punjab, the essay did not come the one which I had prepared. I had prepared an essay on women, but the essay which came, it was slightly different, but did have some reference to women. I think I did that so beautifully that made a huge difference in my result. Another thing that I would suggest to you is that work on your vocabulary. I had prepared a dictionary of my own where I wrote A to Z, and I had referred to at least 3 words every day. I used to write it in the dictionary, and after a week I used to revise all those words. This has helped me a lot because in Punjab specifically, you will have at least 40 marks which will work on your vocabulary. If we talk about Punjabi, do not give up on the grammar part. Give huge impetus to Punjabi newspaper as well, because only that is going to help you in your essay. At least attempt 10 essays before you sit for your main examination. And yes, I would refer, you can refer to the books of BCom or BA, which is the given in Punjabi syllabus. You can refer to those books. You can refer to the Kavitamas, and you can go for you can go for translation, and do not also skip on the translation part. That is 10 mark, which is going to come in both English and Punjabi. So do refer to that as well. I think what was the hardest part in my journey was the interview part. I knew that I had good knowledge on my law. I had practiced a lot in terms of essays or in terms of writing. So what was the most important challenge in my journey was the interview part. And to be honest, I was very scared to even appear for the interview because I did not know what could have been asked in the interview. So there is only one thing that is going to boost your confidence, and that is your mock interviews. I also appeared in mock interviews with Kaushal Academy, and trust me, here the sir was the person who actually told me that get it signed from me, Haramrit, you are going to make it this time. I think that is the type of confidence that you need at the interview stage, because you have already been done with the law. You have qualified means, that means you have a good control and you have the good understanding of law. So there is some person who's going to tell you how are you going to speak there, how are you going to sit there, and also how are you going to behave there. Because trust me, it is a test of personality and not a test of law. So as much as possible, please appear for mock interviews. Do not hesitate, because if you hesitate here, you will hesitate at the interview stage as well. So if you give a lot of mocks, you will get accustomed to such strange faces, and if you're able to answer there, you will definitely be able to answer at the interview stage. Now, I would tell you that even I am a person who had to face a failure. I did appear for Haryana Judicial Services as well, and it was only with a short gap of 4 marks that I could not sit on the chair of judicial officer. Now, when you have to face such a scene, now I would tell it is the darkest phase of your life, because a dream that you have always been taking off and you come so close to it and still you're not able to achieve it, it is going to take a toll on your mental health. So I would say the most important part is that you come out of this dark phase, and it is only your friends, your family, and your teachers who are going to help you go through this. Please come out of that phase, be motivated again, so that you can prepare from the, I know preparing from the scratch is very difficult, but trust me, the end result that you're going to have is becoming a judicial officer. It is going to pay off that every dark phase, that every depressing moment, and this is a chair that is worth every struggle. So there is one thing that I would tell you: please do not hesitate to hard work. Your hard work is going to pay you off. Please trust the process, trust yourself. You have it in you. Just be focused, be determined, be hard work. If you have to give even 8 to 10 hours of study, do not hesitate. Take appropriate breaks in that. If possible, take Sundays off, because I have done that too, and that had helped me to be enthusiastic, to be energized to proceed further. And most importantly, never give up on your leisure time, never give up on your sleep, and never give up on your family time. Your study as well as your life, they have to go hand in hand. And trust me, if I have managed to do it, you can do it as well. So please work hard, because the end is worth every ounce of hard work that you do. Thank you so much. All the best.